I mean, when you look at Arsenal on 54 points, United now on 49. But here's the thing, Marcus Rashford single-handedly continues to push United towards the Premier League top 2. And of course, he beat your old club. They beat your old club Leicester yesterday. Here's the thing though, Martin, with his deal expiring next summer, no sign yet of an agreement over a new deal. Should his form be bringing delight on one hand, but concern in equal measure on the other? In that the boardroom and Ten Hag still don't have him nailed down?
Well, if I'm Ten Hag, I'd be into the board every single day and saying to them, listen, we got to nail this. We got to get it down. We got to get it sorted out, because every single day that goes past, that nothing, then it becomes a bit of a circus. Then after that, you feel as if that if the player is deciding that he's not going to stay at the football club, then you're going to have to do something about it. But overall, it absolutely it's imperative now with the form that he's in. That, and amazingly, you wouldn't have been talking like this here a way back,
exactly
this time last year, for instance. If you thought that Rashford was going to leave the football club, you, as a Manchester United fan, you might have thought, well, okay, let it go. But he's hit such a vein of form. It'd be very, very difficult for him to be allowed to walk away.
Have you ever had a player like this who suddenly comes alive? Rashford, Martin, has scored 16 times in 17 games since coming back from Qatar.
Well, that it's fantastic. It really is. And now, even if you don't see the game live, you're thinking, well, Manchester United scored. Well, it must be Rashford. So that's
right.
That's a big thing at this minute.
Yeah.
So almost everything that he's hitting is going into the back of the net. It is a fantastic run, and well done him. Better than I could ever have imagined this time last year, or perhaps even ever. Really, and I really couldn't have seen this at all.
You've been a doubter, haven't you, Simon?
No, I've been a doubter of the characterisation that he's world class. I maintain the fact he's a very good player.
Is he world class, Martin?
I'm inclined to agree with Simon in this one. I still think to be considered world class, I think you have to be doing it for a longer period of time for a start, and more consistently. You can't argue about his 3 or 4 months consistency at this minute. Take that over a couple of years.
If he's got any integrity, which is a word that often doesn't belong in football, he should be signing a new contract with Man United, because they've carried him for 18 months. Right? He didn't do anything for the last 18 months. And you can point your finger at the management of Man United, which I do, because I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was laughable in his management of those players. He brought a culture in which was like a Butlins holiday camp, where the club was doing them a favour, allowing them to play, rather than the other way around. And coming back from European Championships and deciding that he wanted to go on holiday before he had an operation just gets so far up my nose I can't imagine it, because he should have been back getting surgery and being available for Man United, not deciding to go on holiday and then come back and have surgery. The bottom line is he didn't turn up last year. So the difficulty is for Man United, they can't win. There's no way in God's green earth that you give him a contract on the basis of last year's performance, and now you're caught in a situation where the clock's running down and you're into 18 months left, and now you want to give him a contract, and now the box seat has been occupied by him. There has to be a balancing act. If he's a Manchester United product of their academy and understands the opportunity that was given to him and some of the patronisation that he's had over the last 18 months, he'll sign a new contract, get a big bumper pay rise, and commit his future to Man United, because that's what he should be doing. And Man United are back in ascendancy. They've got a coach now that seems to get the understanding of what it is to be Manchester United. This is an elite football club that once upon a time didn't pay win bonuses to players because they expected to win games, and didn't pay bonuses to those players because that was their modus operandi. They've got that back again. So Rashford and this discussion should be put to bed as quickly as it possibly can. But it'll be a horse trade over enormous amounts of money. Didn't earn his money for the last 18 months, earns his money for 6 months, get a huge pay rise. There's the perversity of football finances.
Didn't earn his money over the last 18 months.
Again, he's opposite here and he has a viewpoint. I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah, absolutely. His mind, he being Rashford, his mind might have been elsewhere at the time, but even so, football is a business, and he wasn't doing well enough. So yeah, for the second time in about 8 minutes, I've agreed with Simon Jordan. But
now, not only is he doing well enough, he's excelling.
He's excelling.
Let's be fair about it,
Yeah.
Simon. Excelling.
Everything he hits is going in.
Yeah. Simon has the point. Would you have loyalty to a football club that did keep you for some considerable time?
Yeah.
Now you're absolutely flying. everything is in your favour at this minute. I'm hoping that he would sign for Manchester United.
Martin, just in the passing, I've seen one, no name in it, Leicester fan. Please ask Martin, Jim, where are Leicester City right now? They go to Old Trafford, albeit United expected to do well, possibly win it, and they win it by 3-0. Where are you, Martin, in your assessment of Leicester with Brendan?
Well, first of all, just take the game yesterday. Which
They were bloody unlucky, weren't they?
Absolutely, could have scored 3 goals before Manchester United hit the net. Really great chance. Harvey Barnes is a great chance to score. That's a different ball game then when you're talking about it. Absolutely. I don't care. Old Trafford, suddenly expectation very, very high. Suddenly you're a goal behind against a side that are counter-attacking brilliantly on you. So a different ball game. Leicester City are fine. Again, you're talking about expectation of a football club. I think I mentioned it the last time I was in the programme here way back. Everything has changed at Leicester City since 2015-2016 season. You win the Premier League, everything changes. Expectation. But Leicester City won the FA Cup a couple of seasons ago. Seems to be forgotten in all this melee.
Right, so they're going along quite nicely. No concern.
Again, Leicester City are now talking about top 6, top 7, whatever the case may be, European football, because of what happened in 2015, 2016.
I mean, a few months ago you were saying that Brendan Rodgers, the way he was going about it, was asking to be sacked.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought he was. And it's no good being Henry Kissinger as a football manager. You can't just be a diplomat and diplomat your way through everything. You've got to stand for something. You've got to be strident. And I don't mean you've got to go out there and bark at the moon, but you had to stand for something. And Brendan was disappearing up his own backside, playing hide and seek with himself. Now he's got himself together.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm sitting on a fence with it.
It's quite an image, actually, Martin, isn't it?
But Brendan, I mean, I thought Leicester were really unlucky, and if it wasn't for 2 absolutely remarkable saves by David De Gea, this Man United side that we're lauding and applauding to win the Premier League, which by the way will get ripped to pieces by slightly better sides than Leicester, could have found themselves 2-0 down in that game.
So you've gone full circle in Leicester?
I think he's got himself together, and that might also be because the argument was being advanced to me about the absence of Maddison and certain key players that weren't available to them. They were a better side as a result of it. It was interesting to hear James Maddison after the game talk about the spirit of the team being immediately sapped by a couple of good saves and a goal going in the other side, which I thought was a little disappointing because he said it almost broke us. David De Gea makes 2 great saves. Bang, Marcus Rashford gets 1 shot on goal, they're 1-0 up.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little bit more depth than that.
Yeah, the only thing about it, you're going to Old Trafford, Manchester United on a great run at this moment, and you're thinking, well, listen, what have we got to do? Yeah. Exactly. Then you do miss these, and these are big chances in the game that would normally have been taken. They're not scored. It does sap you. There's no question about that. So I just think it was an honest interview in him talking about sapping. Now, would that, if Leicester City had been absolutely flying, and yet they've scored two consecutive 4 goals, haven't they, before that there? Yeah. So let's say this was, 3rd or 4th game of the season, and everybody's still in sort of equal terms, then that's probably not as sapping as you think. Yeah. But here at Old Trafford now at this minute, you should have been 2 goals in front, and the game probably within your grasp. Suddenly you lose those.
By the way, the goalkeeper should have done a bit better, I thought.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.